Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Sunday, February the 23rd. Hope you're doing well on this Sunday morning. I hope you can also see that we are really heading towards springtime. The days are getting a little longer. It's not dark anymore at 4:30 here on the East Coast. It's getting there. And it's the journey, right? Everything is about the journey. The journey to getting the springtime needs to be enjoyed just as much as you would enjoy springtime. I always say life is about the journey, not the goals. And we look at this journey and we make the most of it. So, with that, I'm going to ask you to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Luke, chapter 6, verses 27 to 38. Jesus said to his disciples, "To you who hear, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. To the person who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other one as well. And from the person who takes your cloak, do not withhold even your tunic. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from the one who takes what is yours, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. For if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do the same. If you lend money to those who you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners and get back the same amount. But rather love your enemies and do good to them, and lend expecting nothing back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, for he himself is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Stop judging, and you will not be judged. Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and gifts will be given to you. A good measure, packed together, shaken down, and overflowing, will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in turn be measured back to you. Yesterday, after a very long and roller coaster type day, I had to go to the hospital. My mother is there now and seems to be doing a little bit better. I'll find out more today, but hospitals are never a fun place to go to. Came back and attended a very happy event. Our daughter is going to have a baby probably in early April, and we had a little bridal shower, or sprinkle as it's known. It was very nice and very uplifting. Then I came home. It was time to feed the dogs, and I was by myself for a little while without the help of my wife. So, as you probably know, our two dogs, Bella and Paisano. Bella eats upstairs in the kitchen, and Paisano eats downstairs in the den, just to be safe. Well, Paisano was done very quickly, as usual. He came up and he was jumping on the door and scratching the door. So I decided I need to try to get him down the steps and not stop scratching the door, but not let him get through because then he would go and eat Bella's dinner. So I went downstairs and I tried to corral him, but he kind of deked me like a football player would do. And the next thing I know, he was heading up the stairs. The door was open. I had to wrangle him down. I'm getting very frustrated and flustered. He thinks it's a game, but then all of a sudden, as I yell, he becomes very scared. He runs upstairs and he jumps on the sofa instead of going in to see Bella's dinner. And there he tinkles a little bit on the couch. So instinctively, unfortunately, I yell again. Well, this little circus that took place was very quick but very stressful for everyone. And there was a lot of kind of broken connections, if you will. So, with that, we went outside, we came back in, and I was sitting there exasperated. And I certainly had played a role in this dispute, but so did Paisano. But I felt like I did more wrong than he did. However, it was he who then slinked over to me in his beagle way, came over, put his head down as if to say, "Hey, I'm sorry about that." And we surely made up very quickly. I share that story with you because I feel it is a good foundation for tackling this gospel. This gospel talks about very challenging things to do. Jesus always throws out heavy challenges, let's face it. He puts out challenges, and they're all dealing with the connections we have with others. And then it comes down to what we feel our role is, what we feel our responsibility is. In any situation, I always say a dispute takes place. It's almost never, not quite always, but almost never 100% one individual and 0% the other. And that's why I shared the story with you about Paisano and I yesterday, because it really comes down to that. That is the essence of this when we look to tackle the challenge of this gospel. And what we need to do, regardless of what side we're on, is we need to do what Paisano did and move forward and make the connection whole again. Make the connection whole again, because only then and only when that happens can we look at things that are going on in the gospel today and offer ourselves as a sacrificial love, as Jesus did for us, to others. And we need to always go back to what happens in our day-to-day lives and use them as a training ground for what this ultimate challenge is. My friends, let's be very honest with ourselves. We could have business success. I've had some. We could have personal success. I feel I've had some. But without the ability to launch into this gospel and keep our connections as solid as possible, not all, but as many as we can, given our humanness, but given the fact that we will step beyond that sometimes, that is the greatest satisfaction of all, is keeping those connections solid. And that is exactly what Jesus was talking about today. And the training ground I'm talking about is exactly what Paisano did for me yesterday. Hopefully we can all look further into our lives to do the same. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Sunday morning. As always, I hope it was helpful. You could take it into your day. I always welcome your comments and your thoughts. I appreciate them, but I always appreciate mostly you being here with me. I wish you all a very blessed Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Tuesday for an animal spirituality video. Take care, everyone.